let us begin. All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Douglas Personnel Board meeting for February 10th, 2022 at 2:30. And I'm not sure the time.
I've got exactly 2:30.
2:30.
I have 2:31. But
Okay, thank you.
Now I do too.
okay.
All right. So let's begin. We do have a quorum. And we'll begin with minutes. Now, the minutes that I have here that we haven't approved yet, I have for July 15th, 2021. Is that
Yep.
correct?
That's the last one.
That's the last one. Okay, fine. And I read it over. It looks really good. So I like to have a motion to accept the minutes as written for that date.
So I'll
July
move that.
15th. Pardon?
I'll move it.
You
Second.
move? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
What happened to Betty?
I said aye.
Okay, I hear you now. Thank you. Okay, accepted. Okay, next on the agenda is the job description template. From when we had the meeting in what was it? September 21st with the Selectmen, the administrator had stated that he was using it. Now, that I haven't verified, which I would like to. I really don't know how to approach them if they're using it or not, but it's just more lip service that, yeah, they're using it. Yeah. So I'm going to put that on hold right now until we can verify it. So I think a lot of my concern is that we basically get a lot of lip service, no action. And that's a little disheartening as far as I'm concerned, because I worked in quality for over 30 years. And when we used to do audits, we used to say, okay, you say you're going to do this. And then they, oh, yeah, we did it. We always say, okay, then show me. Easy. Verification. So I want to stop pushing towards, I'm not going to accept the yeah anymore. And I'm going to skip down to annual reviews right now, because I'm very concerned, because the Selectmen meeting I was listening to the other day, they said the financial advisor has not received a review in 6 years. That's what they stated. And I'm concerned because she's one of our personnel, and we've been told year after year after year, everybody's got their reviews. And we can't verify it. And according to the financial, what do you call it? It was financial director there. She hadn't, I think the administrator had stated that, come to think of it. So I'm like, how can we get to verify that these reviews are being done?
So how do you give people a raise if you never review them or tell them what's wrong with their job?
But tell them how great they're doing, I'm sure that they were doing great, 2021 with the COVID, come on, put something down in their files to say, hey, they did an absolute great job, blah, 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 So I would like to work on. I'm sorry, Betty.
It should be a part of the person's personal file.
Right, it should be. But like I'm saying, is how can we get them to start giving up the lip service to us when we ask them, because it's a requirement that they're supposed to give a review to everybody. Well, I know we were trying to push for a November date, remember?
Yes. And I think some of them have been done. They just don't go any further.
Yeah. We, the library does it every year for the library director. We don't do the rest of the staff, just the director. And we do it, we did ours in December because we wanted to get it, we were behind in our, getting things done, but we did finish it off in December. It was signed by the chairman of the library trustees and then given to the town administrator. So that's what we did.
They must have
done it every single year. And I'm wondering, well, are we the only ones that do it? And so should the library director be the only one that gets a raise?
Yeah, right.
Well, actually, it should be anybody that's doing the review, which is their boss of some sort, is like, I don't know I see the organization chart, but I'm not sure if they delegated it to a certain person. It's like, how do you know? Okay, the highway department would be the superintendent of the highway department. Is he the one, or is the next one in line, like the group
No.
leader, whatever? Does he give it to the people underneath them? So it's like, I don't know what,
No,
form.
I think the superintendent in that case is supposed to do it and go over it with the employee, because
Right. So all the
they
employees, though?
both have to sign it. Yes. Yes.
All the employees. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure how that works, because I know when I worked in manufacturing, it's like the manager didn't give the review to the actual employees. I ended up giving the review because I'm like a direct supervisor. You know what I'm saying? So he gave me my review, but the direct supervisor gave the review of the employees that actually worked hands-on with the things
Right.
that we manufactured.
I would think, I mean, the departments in Douglas aren't enormous.
That's what I was just
And
say,
so I think that the head honcho in each department can do the review of the employees in that department. But the town administrator is in charge of, except for water and sewer, and except for library.
Mhm.
All those reviews are done by the town administrator of the supervisors for each department.
Right.
Only one supervisor.
Right. So it's like the head guy is in charge of all the top people of those departments. Right.
Yes.
But then that superintendent or whatever is in charge of the ones that are underneath him.
Right.
Okay. I got that. So there's not really that many. I mean, they don't like they have 20 underneath them.
Right.
No, they have 7.
I used to have the highest number I had was 14 at one time. I tell you, you had to have it done by a certain date, because then the next time paycheck came up, and that was their raise. But we already had discussed what the raise amounts were months before. You know what I'm saying? So we already rated the people.
Well, that's exactly what's happening in Douglas. Is the pay raises, I think, were established 5 years ago when the override happened, because their budgets are, we don't do a budget at the library because it's done already by the town administrator's budget that he had developed 5 years ago after the override happened. And so now I think it's a 5-year plan, and so this year probably expires. But
well, he just did that survey, so he has contacted other towns around and done a comparison of pay rates with other towns, which, I always say it can be like comparing apples with oranges.
right.
Oh yeah, it's like you can't compare Wellesley to us.
What I understand, part of our comparison is with Oxford, which has
It's a bigger town. It's over 10,000. We're under 10,000, and we have been for many, many years. We've never gone over 10,000. And same with Uxbridge and Northbridge are both over 10,000 in population.
Right. A lot of times too, is like ours are a 4-day work week on most of our employees.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. In the offices.
Yeah.
It's like, do they work 4 days or do they work 5?
We just don't have the industry. We don't have the business. And I know it's been cited that we have some new business, but we keep giving them the tax incentives. So we don't actually see a great deal of income for a number of years, sometimes as much as 10 years.
Yeah, but basically the budget and everything, remember the plan that they always give at the annual meeting to accept compensation package?
Yeah.
That's always done like with like a 1.5 or whatever
Yeah.
increase to pay
Right,
plus
right.
the steps. So that's into the budget on what they're going to do for the year, the May timeframe, that coming year.
Well, yeah, that starts July 1st.
Right, right.
But
So,
yeah, I think how I'm guessing about this, that how raises are given is they just look at what the unionized people in town are getting, and that's how,
percentage wise, right.
and
Like if
that's
the
how
school
they
is getting
that they
1 point, yeah, they do.
give
It
the
looks
same amount to the non-union people.
correct, yeah. Seems that way anyways. So, but anyways, getting back to the reviews and stuff like that. I want to do something to verify it. So if anyone has any ideas, but excuse me, I know we had a list of actual people, right? The employees by name was given to us a while back. And I was
Yeah.
thinking of setting up something like that. And then would it be against the so-called rules to contact the person? Just say, hey, did you get your review for 2021? Hello, you know?
Right. Well, or you
Well,
could
what
just,
would be the purpose of it? Just
Well, then we
because
could
we're
go-
asking,
Pardon?
just because we're asking for that information,
Right.
and we have been for years,
Right.
and we haven't gotten it.
Like I said, to verify it, the only way to verify it, since they aren't telling us the actual facts that they are, and now we're finding out that they haven't for like one person, but we know, I mean, I have on the list from 2019, 2020, 2021, because I've never, I mean, they've yesed us to death for years. And like I said, for them saying that the financial director has not had an annual review in the past 6 years. I mean, could you imagine that? I mean, she's done a great job. I mean, come on. Why hasn't she gotten the annual review? I don't get it, you know? So
I'm pretty sure Mike was doing them. At least I vaguely remember him talking about them.
but what I would like to do is, like I said, have a list of people and who their immediate supervisors, who they normally would get their review with, and have they got their review? Did they get their review in 2019? Has that been completed? Is 2020, 21? 21, okay, fine. They should have started having those reviews done, like we were trying to set up the time frame, like I said, for November. So, I mean, November's gone by. Now we're into February. And if these people are not getting their reviews, I'm very concerned because, I mean, it's in the policies and procedures. They're supposed to be done, you know? And like I said, let's start trying to verify this information that it is being completed.
Well, we were told that our policies and procedures were totally outdated and of little
Yeah, and I
use.
noticed that they updated one for military leave or something like that. I hadn't heard anything except I was, like I said, I was listening to the Selectmen and they were on their second reading of something from military leave or something. But like I said, we weren't contacted to even let us know. So,
Right, that must be a federal law, so, you know,
which is fine, you know, they just let us know, okay, fine, this part of the procedures being updated, and this is what we're proposing, and this is what they're gonna do, blah, blah, you know, but just to ignore the fact that, you know, we're supposed to be personnel board, you know, it's like, okay,
here's my gripe. The administrator thinks our policy book is outdated, and I think he wants to revise it. That's what we're here for. Work with us and we'll do it. I mean,
oh, we could help and
Well-
give our input, you know, as far as being an advisory type thing.
well, he
But
was
I know
contacted-
bottom line is they have to have it so it's legal too from the governments and all those
Right.
things. But
You have a
don't put
review.
something in the policy and procedures and then you say you're doing it and you don't.
Right. Wasn't he supposed to contact us in November to work with us? Never-
Okay, let's move on to back to the status of the meeting from the town administrator and selectmen. The status. I was supposed to receive something that Friday and I never received anything. and I still haven't received it. I checked the mail at the town hall, nothing's there. So as far as I'm concerned, the selectmen have done their part and the administrator has not done his part. So it's like, shall we write another letter and ask them? It's getting to be where, you're ignoring us. And how does that look to the other volunteers in town? I'd like to know, because right now, being a volunteer, which is our time and our energy to try to help to get things around, not getting paid for it, and it's very frustrating to work under these conditions, especially when, like I said, let's verify this stuff, because they're not doing what they're supposed to according to the policies and procedures. And how could you turn around and do this to your employees? I don't get it. I really don't. It's like, where are you off to? Where are you coming from, guys?
Yeah, well, I'd almost, I think it's, instead of us contacting, it's sort of going around the administrators back by us contacting the heads of departments and stuff like that to see if they've been reviewed or what's happening there. But I go to to the administrators' bosses, who are the selectmen. And I know you've had you two have been to 2 meetings. I just was, virtually on one of them. And, I know sometimes it takes just a phone call to one selectman and saying, we're having a problem here, and can you figure out how to resolve it? Because it's the selectmen that are boss of the town administrator, not us. And it's like sneaking around the administrator's back.
Like I said,
I don't like doing that. So I wouldn't partake in doing, calling superintendents and stuff like that of different departments here to do it.
I agree. I think that's the way to go.
To go to a selectman and question.
Right.
So so you think we should do another letter to the selectmen and see?
No, just call up a selectman that you feel comfortable with. Do you feel comfortable with any of them?
I know one.
You have one?
Yeah. Mike Fitzpatrick just goes down the street.
Okay. So he'd be someone to contact?
Yeah.
He's pretty good about listening.
All right. I'll give him a call this week or this weekend.
Yeah, just mention our concerns. We've never received anything about our so-called new role. And then we're concerned about the reviews. It's like, we don't need to hear that someone hasn't received a review in 6 years. I mean, that's outrageous. And I'm very concerned about that, so it's like, you're ignoring us, fine, but the people, they're not benefiting from all this. I don't know what to call it. It just, can't believe it sometimes. So anyways, so you're going to contact him, Betty, and let us know?
Will.
I appreciate that.
If I don't get a hold of him today, I'll get a hold of him by the end of Monday.
Like I said, just let them know our concerns about our role. We never heard, and now reviews, they're not getting done. So how can we verify it? It's like, I don't need lip service anymore.
Right.
And what's our role? That's it. What is our role? And that's why I'm saying, do we need a personnel board? Because we're not feeling cheated by this,
Well, that's the thing. We're wasting our time. And to me, it's like, if you're treating us like this, it's like, how do the other people that are volunteers feel, that how can you treat people that are volunteers like this? I don't get it. Especially when I'm trying to help, the employees and communicate, and I don't know what else to do, dear.
And I got the distinct impression from the selectmen that night that that's exactly how they felt. You've got 3 people who have volunteered a long time and are willing to work on this stuff and they're being ignored, you get the feeling that someone wants us to just all resign.
Yeah, but the point is, you still have an advisory board. They haven't eliminated it.
Right.
So to me, it's like, come on, guys. It's like you haven't eliminated it. You didn't say, okay, it no longer exists and it's not in the bylaws anymore, etc. It's like you're making the rules, but you're not following the rules.
Exactly.
So I don't get it. Did we lose Ellie?
Yeah, no, I went to get my coffee. That's
Coffee.
all.
Okay, so Betty Ann, if you could do that and get back to us. Minutes online. I think you told me last time the minutes were put online somehow, and you were going to get a hold.
They weren't. Lisa told me to come down and she'd show me how to do it. But, I had my hip done. Now I've got sciatica so bad.
Lord.
I've been in pain since New Year's. So.
Oh my.
Have you been doing yoga for sciatica? Eben did that.
I've been doing exercises. I've been going for acupuncture, which acupuncture has helped. I've only been able to get one session, but I'm going again Monday. I'm still going to physical therapy. I'm doing heat, I'm doing cold, I'm doing walking, stretching exercises, you name it. And
I'm trying it, just to help out. Gosh.
Yeah, because Eben's had 3 hip replacements, so he's like the person. But he had sciatica, and the way he avoids it now is just by doing yoga every day.
Really?
And stretching out the nerve that goes down your butt. So.
Okay. Well, yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah, that's very good to know.
Therapist has had me doing those stretching exercises, so I do those every day.
Yeah.
But the worst is sleeping.
Or first thing in the morning. That's what killed Eben. He'd get up in the morning.
Yeah, me too. So that's why I haven't gotten down there and done anything.
All right, do you want me to get a hold of Lisa then, in case you can't? Because, like I said, at least then.
You actually have to get down there, and she'll show somebody how to do it. So if you want to go down, go ahead.
Let me follow up with that then, okay? I'm right around the corner, and I can just pop in. What I'll do is I'll email her, get some time frame that she's open, and then stop in. I'll do that there. All right, the next thing is job descriptions online access. I'd asked Lisa to put the newer job description online, but that hasn't been done yet. So, like I said, it was basically asking. I thought they were using the new template, and we could get it online, and then we could see would be part of verification that they've actually doing it. So that I'll ask her about that too while I'm down there. Okay, and policy and procedures review. I think it's 4.0, the line that we wanted to remove that said about 2 year, 24 month thing.
Right.
I tried downloading the PDF where it has the format and to a Word doc, and it seemed a little bit messed up, but what I want to do is get with you, Ellie, and I know you have done some before, right?
Well, what I do is I use the free Open Office writer, and then I convert that to a PDF document. But sometimes what I've done is I've tried to copy a PDF, just copied it with a Control C thing, and then paste it onto my free Open Office writer thing. So then I can edit it, because you can't edit it if it's in PDF. You have to edit it. So you could try doing it that way, copying the PDF and then pasting it onto a blank Word document.
Okay, but what I wanted to ask you is since it's only removal of one sentence there, the sentence, is like, could you basically set up and do that? So we have something, so then the next, once it's pasted in and you got all that, it's like, what sort of a date and a time frame and who do you send it to? And that, those things I don't know, you know?
Is it in the bylaw or is it in the
Policies
procedure?
and procedures. Yeah, it's the 4 point.
Because the policies and procedures is the selectmen again. They are the ones that have the ability to change it without
So
going to town meeting or anything like that.
I thought if it was on policies and procedures.
I have that it was a bylaw. And
I thought you said it was a bylaw originally, and that's why it needed to be changed by vote, but.
Okay, yes, it is. It says personal bylaw change. Yes, I found it here. And it was, I don't have the page, but it was like basically 4B regarding the length of time. So it is the bylaw. So that would have to be a warrant then. That's my point is like, could you set up the warrant article thing so then we could in turn send it to the selectmen? Is that how it's done?
It would be due by
No,
March.
to the town clerk, I think.
Yeah, it would be due by March, whenever the warrant is the deadline for the warrant if you want it on the annual town meeting. So that would be coming up pretty soon. And Chris usually has that calendar on her webpage.
Chris Ferno, okay. All right. So could you do that, Ellie? Just take, you know what sentence it was, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you told me 4B there, so I'll look.
Yeah, it was 4B. And I forget the page. I don't have that from the minutes right now.
Just eliminate that
24-month thing that says we couldn't communicate to the not selectman, administrator.
Yeah.
And it was like, if they just remove that, that way they were employees and the personnel board could communicate to the selectmen, not selectmen, the administrator, that would maybe end this impasse that we're in. I don't know. It's worth a try. But anyways, I think it'd be simple enough to just say, remove this line, you know?
Right.
But then it had dates and other things. So like I said, I know you said you had done it before with your husband, so I just was wondering if you could take on that right now, as far as like, could you set that up in a PDF and then see what the date we need to put it in, and then like for the next meeting, say, okay, it's a Word doc, it's all set, it just says this, and we'll send it to the selectmen.
Yeah, would have to go to Chris.
On page
Chris Bruno?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I don't know the procedure on that, so.
And we might need 10 signatures. I'm not sure.
10 signatures?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we can print it out and get some signatures on it.
Yeah.
I got one.
There's a form to put it on.
Right. That was with the selectmen, their bylaw. It's at the back of that. I found the warrant there.
Okay.
Okay.
It's on page 5 of the bylaw, and it's the last paragraph on that page.
Okay, is it the whole paragraph or just a sentence that talks about the length of time?
It's just the last 3 words.
Okay. All right.
Well, more than 3 words, because it says the town administrator did not consider any proposal already considered in the preceding 24 months. We want out that whole sentence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I said, I think they should have an open door policy with the employees, that's what it says, and the advisory board.
Yeah. Okay.
All set? All right. Really. Okay. Any other old business? Can think of
I'm
anything?
getting pretty old.
Aren't we all?
That's our problem.
Okay. Oh, I was wondering, it's like, we're supposed to have 5 people on the board. And I was wondering, they're always asking for volunteers. It's like, we've never had any other volunteers since I joined, you know? And that's been quite a few years now.
4 people on. we've had 5 when I first came on, and Betty Ann has been on it forever. So
Forever. Well, we did have one gentleman that was on for a little while.
yeah,
Right.
Pam
Yeah.
Holmes' husband.
Oh, is that who?
Right. And Mike Casino was on for a little while.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Right.
Okay.
And
A
yeah,
woman, another one.
Right.
Oh, Debbie Hines was on it.
behind Sharon Brotherton.
Yeah.
I remember Debbie, and then another gentleman that was there for a very short time. He was only there for about maybe half a year.
Well,
I
yeah.
think, yeah. But anyways, I was just wondering, it's like a lot of the they're always asking for volunteers. So I was wondering, it's like, how are they promoting volunteers? You know, it's like, because I know when we sat at that meeting on the Selectmen meeting there, the lady next to me, she was volunteering for the cultural committee, and she was really a little nervous. And I told her, don't worry about it. I said, if you're a volunteer, they'll accept you because we really need volunteers. And if you're enthusiastic enough, they were willing. And she went right through and she was happy, like, oh gosh, but they were so nervous, like, oh, what is this pressure I'm going to be under because I'm volunteering, you know? So
Oh, bro.
maybe that's a concern of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I think people don't have the time. I mean, it's mostly, people that are retired that have the time, and they should take advantage of, who's willing to do it. But if you're not going to get anywhere, if we're just sitting and
Yeah.
talking to ourselves all the time, what's the point?
Right, not being very productive. Yes, I hear you there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I just thought I'd mention that because, like I said, maybe there's something we could do to help people volunteer, for other committees or boards or whatever. Even though we're not getting very productive ourselves, we could at least try and get other people interested, right? So,
Right.
okay, so I get old business, new business, nothing? Anything happening with new business? What I'm going to do, old business, is make a list of all the job descriptions that I have mentioned over the time. If you notice, I didn't list them this time in the agenda because I figured it's probably going to be half a page anyway, so don't waste the paper. So anyways, I'll get another list going here that we, I can start pulling from and figure out those are the certain ones that we do want, the new ones, and I think there was only one new one, but there was actually 2. One last summer there, some project manager thing.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not
Community
sure.
development
Pardon?
project, something like community
it was
industrial.
Something like that. It was only supposed to be for a few months. Remember $13,000, Ellie?
Well, yeah, and I brought it up at this special town meeting, and Matt go through, and he had to answer my questions, so he did, but he shines in those situations too. He's very good talker,
Right.
where I'm not. So, but he's
neither am I. I'm not one to get up there and start talking. It's usually my husband will elbow me or something, say shh, shh, shh.
But he's good at doing stuff, and he did address, because I think one of the selectmen said, listen, you're going to be asked about this at town meeting, and
Right.
sure enough, I said, oh, does that mean me? So he was prepared,
Good. They should be,
Yeah.
They should be.
After the meeting's over, I can think of 100 things I should have said or asked.
Yeah.
I know. That's usually what happens. Is like it's stuff that you hear for the first time that you thought you knew something about. It was like, wait a minute, I don't remember hearing anything about that.
Right.
I hate not to have like my information in my head ahead of time and say, oh yeah, I know what they're talking about here, and this road is closed here, and this one's whatever. But it's like if you have no clue, it's like, what road? What?
Yeah. Right.
Oh Lord. Okay, ladies, next meeting. What sort of time frame? March.
Yeah, why don't we do March, but early on try to find out when all the stuff, the calendar, Chris's calendar is, because we're gonna have to get together before that closes. It's usually on a Friday that it happens, that everything has to be in by a Friday. And I don't know which Friday, but it is some Friday in March, so.
Okay. So the 10th of March, how's that sound, ladies?
Okay,
It's okay.
Sound
with
good to
me.
you? Okay, 2:30, and we'll do another video chat. I'm going to continue doing the video chat because I think it's easier for us. It's you know, versus trying to get in the car and the weather and all that and COVID and that's what I wanted to ask. The annual report from the Douglas Personnel Board, there was 2 revisions. The first revision was quite lengthy, and that's the one that I sent, just to let you ladies know.
Okay.
And when I was discussing it with someone, I said to they shouldn't be surprised what is written there, because it's been mentioned at least twice to the selectmen and the administrator. And I feel that mentioning it in our report is a good thing to do, to inform the people that have not been able to listen to the video conferences and to see what we need, what our needs and our employees' needs are. And that's how I wrote it. Okay, ladies?
Yeah, I think you did a good job.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and see you on the 10th. And
I make
I'll get
a
a-
motion that we adjourn.
okay, it's at 3:08. I'll make a motion.
okay,
Do you want to second it?
Second, yeah.
second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
So
Bye.
3:08.